Hi, Ty from Infidelity here at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Auto Fest 2017 with Dan Clark from MrSpeakers and his new Aeon Flow Open headphone. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it, Dan?
All right. The Aeon Flow headphone is something we've actually, a bit of quick history. This was actually the very first design that I made for our own in-house designed headphone. It was meant to be this. For a variety of reasons, we ended up doing ether first because we felt like that was a better business decision. But this was really the headphone we've dreamed of making, which was an affordable planar magnetic that has superlative comfort and a really nice industrial design and a wonderful sound, but at a price point that brings high-end sound down to kind of more of a mid-range market price.
And with that price is?
It's $799.
Right.
And these are designed and built in San Diego, California.
So planar magnetic headphone?
Planar magnetic
Single-sided magnet?
Single-sided motor structure.
Magnets on the inside.
The magnets are on the ear side.
That's why we have the flow stuff there to get things all happy.
And so it has a couple of really nice little technical innovations in it. One is that the driver is designed using what we call our V-planar processing, which increases the driver so that below its resonant frequency it has easier excursion and allows it to reach very deep and extend down into the 10 hertz range, even though the driver's not huge. And that allows us to save space and save weight. The other thing that we did is we redesigned the motor structure so that there's no space between the magnets. We fill it in and then essentially perforate it. So what the driver sees is a really acoustically excellent flat surface with holes in it. And that allows it to behave a little more like an electrostat by reducing refraction and diffraction within the headphone motor structure.
Sure. Yeah.
And that gives you a little more micro detail, a little more resolution. Yeah. Also a little more expressive dynamics for whatever reason. That kind of surprised me. But the headphone's also designed, got a really neat feature. Our Aeon headphones have a no moving parts headband assembly. It relies upon the nature of the nitinol memory metal to allow it to flex, and so we've been able to eliminate hinges and other heavy hardware from the design, and that helped us keep the cost down and also make it more flexible.
I didn't even notice that, and that's true on the clothes too, huh?
That's correct. There are no moving parts in the hinge.
How come?
It's in the headband.
How come I didn't even notice that? I mean, I wrote the review. I don't think I said anything about that.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you're just losing it.
That must be it. I'm getting old.
Too many headphones.
Too many headphones. That is cool, and they fit absolutely wonderfully. So it works.
We designed it to be a super ergonomic shape. The headphones pads are designed to kind of fall right down along here, along your front of your ear and down behind your jaw, which kind of reduces the pressure on your jaw, because actually, this is something I've noticed, but when you have pressure on your jaw, your tendency is to clamp your teeth and clamp your jaw, and that contributes to listener fatigue and kind of reminds you that a headphone's on.
It also generates noise in your head.
It can generate noise in your head, and it also can change the pitch of your hearing, at least for me, because if you put your finger in your ear canal and you bite down on your jaw, you'll see that it changes the geometry of your ear canal.
Absolutely.
Well, that by definition changes the impedance of your acoustic system.
It'll certainly change the resonant frequencies that are in there.
That's right.
I don't think it'll shift pitch, but it'll change the pitch of the resonant frequencies.
So for me, what it tends to do is it reduces the sense of bass presence, and it makes headphones sound bright. So that was actually something that was a deliberate thing that I tried to do here. I don't know if that's a general thing that other people experience, but it'd be kind of interesting to...
If you're stressed, your stapedius reflex can be turned on a little bit, and it will get rid of some bass response of your ear too.
It tightens up the tympanic membrane, and yep. So there are multiple factors that can affect that, and that's just stuff. When you have to wear headphones 8 hours a day as part of your making a living, it's you get stressed.
Boy, I wonder about that. What's that like?
The other thing that we did is, I've become very focused on having our listeners have a long, safe listening experience with their headphones. And I added a little bit of warmth to this headphone so that at lower sound levels, it has a nice linear tone to it. Because as the volume decreases, people, because of what's called the Fletcher-Munson effect, people are less sensitive to bass and headphones tend to sound brighter as the volume decreases. So we kind of voiced this to have a sweet spot around 75 to 80 dB where you can listen to extended, for extended length, but now you'll have a correct tonal balance. And actually, I kind of think that's something manufacturers may want to talk about a little bit more when they have products, is what SPL did they really voice it to be optimal at? And we've started moving most of our headphones to be kind of in the 75 to 85 dB range because we want our customers to have hearing that will last the rest of their lives.
That's the right levels to listen at.
Yeah.
Basically, as as the level goes up and down, the tonality changes according to the Fletcher-Munson curves, and it's true. Some headphones sound better at a lower volume because they're a little smiley shaped than. So cool.
Yeah, we tried to work a little of that in. We hope it's not. We tried to not overdo it. But that's something that is just philosophically, I'd like to just do my best to kind of make it. Our headphones healthy for our customers.
And so last thing, show us your little doggy treat in there.
Oh yeah. So
I say doggy treat, and that's an old word for it, but he's got little filters that he puts in there.
I'm a big believer in allowing users to customize the headphone sound to their own experience. So what I tend to do, people fall on a continuum of liking headphones that go from bright to dark. And so what I tend to do is I voice the headphones to be a little bright of neutral at the top end, and then they come with filter kits. So if you'd like to change the listening experience and you prefer a little softness to the top end, you just pop those in, and you can change the experience. And one of the things that's neat about it is that because the ear side damping is very accessible, owners can also experiment with other materials. There's a whole crowd of people who love different strains of toilet paper to tune their headphones. It's cheap, and there are a ton of different varieties. You can go single ply, septic safe, and double ply and get a different sound. You can Quilted, Northern, Charmin, and people pick their brand of toilet paper they like. You can also find craft felts or other materials that are air permeable and experiment and have a little fun, which is something that's my background, was headphone modification, and I really encourage people to do that and have some fun with their headphones to get them to be their headphone.
Good. Well, so now I'm going to say that I loved the Aeon Flow closed. As I said the other day to somebody, I think it was Steve Guttenberg. He loved them too. I keep the Aeon Flow closed on my desk, and I use it because I can just throw it on and go, okay, that's neutral, and take it off, because they're damn near right on neutral. And after hearing these, it's like, oh yeah, I want to get this up at the office and measure it and listen for a while. They sound freaking great, Dan.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. And do you use it with the filter in or out?
I generally use it with the filter in.
I do too.
Yeah. I like a little softer sound on the high end. I find that that's better for longer listening sessions, leaves me less fatigued. And also, there are just so many recordings where they've got a little too much dynamic range compression, or they hotted up the treble so that sounds good on a phone. And it's like, unless it's really audiophile grade stuff, audiophile grade recordings, I tend to take the filters out.
Right. Well, there you have it. I'm going to get my hands on these soon for sure.
Yes, for sure. We promise, as soon as we're shipping, one of the first batch goes straight to you.
And we'll see you guys at the next booth.